Today on SteampunkChronicle.com, we're talking with Brian Kesinger, the famous creator of the Tea Girls.
All right,
Thanks for joining us today.
Thanks for having me.
Well, you know what? I'm loving this new book, The Walking Your Octopus, and you're just about out of these.
Yeah, I'm very excited. We have here at Dragon Con, we have like the last 20 copies of the first edition. Those are probably going to go, and we've moved on to our second edition, so it's pretty exciting.
That's great. Tell me about some of the reactions that you're hearing about the book.
People are just really charmed by it, which is really nice to hear because it comes from a very honest place. I mean, it's kind of inspired by raising my two kids and our dog, and just the whole thing of, you know, bringing pets into your home. People relate to it.
But usually the pet's not an octopus.
Exactly. So that's kind of the fun twist to put on it, because we all know octopus are amazing creatures.
I really like one of the sketches you have in here. It's like a photo session. They're setting up the octopus in a frilly dress with the all-day sucker. And,
right.
And it's like, but it makes sense, but it's so odd.
Yeah, well, it's a bit of a satire too, because we all know we can go a little crazy with our pets.
Yeah, and
our kids. So yeah, I tried to touch on every aspect of that in the book, and hopefully people find it as relatable.
Now, I know that you've branched out art-wise out of the books and the posters into some T-shirts and things like that. How have you found that transition?
It's been great. It's really nice. I've been able to partner with a company called We Love Fine, and they're great. They really put the artist first, and so I'm able to take designs, upload them, and then they're print on demand. So it's really nice, and it's fun to kind of design in that medium, to really try, because T-shirts, it's all about the humor. People want to buy something that makes them laugh, and then it's a great conversation starter. So I always try to think of that before I start a T-shirt design.
That's good. Now, I also understand that you've gotten into some voice talent work.
Yeah, I've kind of fallen into that at work. My day job is a Disney story artist, and part of that procedure before the movie gets animated, before even the voice characters are actually cast with real actors, they'll usually have the story artists or other artists in the building kind of do what they call scratch dialogue, and it's basically reading the script so we can put the storyboards together and whatnot. And in rare occasions, they'll actually keep the scratch instead of a real actor, because goodness knows I'm not a real actor. But they kept my voice for Kano. Actually, I guess he's called Cyborg in Wreck-It Ralph.
Great.
So that's pretty exciting.
Now, you bring up Disney, and I'm thinking, what are the odds that you're going to move this property into a Disney product?
Well, if we could all email Disney and say that you want this to be a product, that would be awesome. But I am developing it as a feature. Nothing officially through them yet, but that would certainly be a dream come true, to have my characters become Disney characters.
And one of the things I find when I talk to people who are producing content for video or for film in steampunk is they go, well, you know, it's a hard sell. Do you find it to be a hard steampunk to be a hard sell? It
is a hard sell, and I think it's just because there hasn't been that one definitive movie yet for Hollywood to recognize, oh yeah, steampunk is a thing. You know, and I think that once that first movie breaks through, then as Hollywood goes, everyone's going to want a piece of that. So really try to find an angle. I would say if you're developing content, try not to rely just on it being steampunk, because a lot of people, especially development people, will see that just as a surfacey thing. Think of your story first and how your characters would relate to that world. That's kind of like my book. It's not, it's very steampunk, but I never say steampunk at any point in the book. And it's more characters that happen to live in that world that are interesting. So I would give that advice to people who are creating their own characters.
Now, you mentioned the day job, you mentioned the voice work, you mentioned the T-shirts, you mentioned the posters. How are you working with such a divided day part in that way?
Yeah, it's pretty nice. I'm a night person, and I'm able to do the day job and then come home, spend time with my wife and the kids. Our kids are really little, so they still go to bed pretty early, and that combined with being able to stay up late, I'm just getting all my ideas out while I can before I burn out.
Are you worried about burnout?
No, because I'm still having fun.
Good.
When it stops being fun, then I'll stop. But right now it's such a passion. that it just kind of keeps coming. So I'm going to embrace it until it runs dry, and then try to find something else.
Well, that leads to the natural question. So what's next?
I'm working up on a follow-up to this book, which is Traveling with Your Octopus, which would be the two of how to take your domesticated cephalopod on travel around the world in 80 tentacles, basically. And so I'm working on that, as well as a couple other comic ideas. So a little bit of everything.
Brian, thank you so much for joining us on Steampunk Chronicle
Thank
today.
you. I appreciate it.
Thank you.